So many problems locally with the storm, Little Joan. And we are live. Are we live? Let's check.
We're having so many problems.
Okay, I can hear myself. So we are indeed live. We are live. We are live. So I'm going to tell you right up front. Is anybody in here yet? Big storm this way. I could shut down at any moment. So I got home in time, but the weather is very, very stormy out this way. All right. Had a big weekend, so we'll do a little pregame. While we wait for some people to enter the chat. So this weekend I was at Mood's Farm on Saturday for their great blueberry festival. Every year it's a blueberry good time. So Mood's has blueberries, of course. I assume they grow them or sell them locally. And they had blueberry cider, fantastic, absolutely fantastic. They had blueberry donuts, which I had last year, fantastic. They have blueberry milkshakes, JEC, ha ha ha. Blueberry milkshakes, and then of course their blueberry donut sundae, which apparently tastes like blueberry donuts. Not just blueberries, blueberry donuts. They also had a blueberry dessert contest where at the end they said, okay, the judges have had their piece. Anyone can take a piece of the cakes. So we had free blueberry desserts. Oh, it was a good time. Plus, I had a hamburger at Moods, and I gotta say, their hamburgers are pretty good. I mean, they're just normal hamburgers for the area, but they had fresh tomato slices to put on your burger and fresh onion all cut up. That was nice. So Moods was a nice day. I sold some stuff, and the weather held. Got a little rumbly at the end, and then today I was at the dragon boat races at Lake Lenape, and the weather, same exact thing. It held off all day, and then at the very tail end we heard some rumbling. But sold a lot of books there. People did the dragon boat thing, and that was to raise money for charity. There were many charities there. There's all kinds of cancer charities that had tables and stuff. I met a lot of nice people. I'm going to be on a podcast and a local radio station now. I got to arrange these things, and I got another dragon boat race I got invited to. I gotta arrange that. So a good weekend, solid weekend, all the way around, So good times, and Little Joan was happy to see me, right, Joan? I got your cushion here. This is your favorite cushion. Would you relax? No, don't bail already. JEC is the only one that saw you. Just relax. Anyhow, today, as promised, we're going to do movie soundtracks, which is going to be fun. And a bonus, we're going to talk about actor Robert Davi. He contacted me, and I'll tell you a little story if you haven't heard it on one of my other videos. And then we'll go over his career, which is pretty extensive. But anyhow, we gotta check the box office. The box office, wow! Every week now, it's just crazier and crazier. It's nuts. So first up, the number one movie in America, the number one movie in its first week is Insidious: The Red Door at 32.6 million. Which, first off, it overperformed on its own. They weren't expecting it to do this well. I think they were expecting close to half that, or maybe like 20. And then the big, not really shocker, is Indiana Jones is number 2. And now this is its second week. It's down to 26.5 million, a drop of 56%, according to this. Look at all the theaters it's in. It's in 4,600 theaters, and it lost 46. Oh, Stormy is here. Hello. Welcome, Stormy. that's just, it's so embarrassing for Disney to lose this in its second week. Disney's Indiana Jones can't beat Insidious. I mean, not to knock that movie. At this point, I'm sure it's better than Indiana Jones, but it's, when you get right down to it, it's pretty much just a horror movie. Whereas Indiana Jones is supposed to be a big summer blockbuster. So there's no way this movie, Indiana Jones, should have done at least 100 million domestically, and should be doing at least 50 to 30 million at least. 26.5 million. Oh, that's not good. That is not good. So actually, let's see if Insidious got international box office. It did. It's at 64 million worldwide. Arden is here. Did they actually fire Kennedy yet? Also, hi. Doomcock has a video, and the rumor is Monday the axe may finally fall on Kathleen Kennedy. Such is the rumor. But we've heard this before. We'll see. Indiana Jones, The Dial of Destiny. Well, it's at 247 million worldwide, which at this point, the new rumor is this movie cost $329 million. Not 295 as initially reported, but that it actually cost $30 million more than that. If that's true, this hasn't even broken its budget yet, and that doesn't count all the ridiculous amount of advertising they put into this, which, I mean, has to be a ridiculous amount of money. It just has to be. They've been promoting this movie for years. They started promoting this movie back when it was a completely different movie. Back, I think, before the pandemic. Or maybe right in the middle of it. That's when they start doing it. As soon as they start announcing it. Now, they probably didn't spend a lot of money back then, but when they thought they were close, probably before Harrison Ford hurt himself, they certainly would have gotten the ball rolling. Started printing posters and, arranging interviews and stuff. All that stuff got, the pandemic pushed it all back. Then the various delays pushed it all back. I mean, all that stuff had to be done again and again and again. And that has to cost money. You had to make people do it, and you had to pay them, and they could be doing something else for your company. So the amount of money they must have spent on the marketing it's got to be off the charts too. Now, it's probably not, sometimes I say it's, the budget times 2, but, and some people say it's more like the budget a half. It kind of depends upon the movie. In this case, I don't see how there's any possible way they could have spent $300 million marketing in this. I don't know how you could even do that. I mean, I guess it's possible, but doubtful. I don't think they spent that kind of money, but they probably spent at least 100 million, I would say, at minimum 150. And then, the rumor was if this movie doesn't make $900 million, that's NG. That's no good. And there's no way this movie can make $900 million. There's no way. 247 million, and it's dropping about more than 50%. So next week, what do you get? Maybe you get 13 million domestic and another 13 million, another 26 million, something like that. Maybe you're lucky. International gives you more. Maybe you get 30 million. Okay, put you at 277. Then next week, you get about 13 million, put you at like 290. Maybe with the rest of the week, you're over 300 million. Maybe a squeak to, 330. That's barely the budget. There's no way that's money. That has to be a loss. There's no way this movie's going to crack 400 million. I don't think. The word of mouth is absolutely toxic. The nerds hate it. I think a lot of the shill media even feels comfortable making fun of it, or at least dumping on it, or at least saying it's not very good. I mean, there are great parts, don't get me wrong. Now, I know people who love the movie, but, you know, I always say there are fans who, they don't watch a lot of movies. I mean, if you've never seen an Indiana Jones movie ever in your life, you might watch this and say, oh, it was a pretty good movie. I mean, you might, because you've never seen it before. And what you're getting is, you know, you're getting something that's very much downstream and not as good as the original, but you didn't see the original, so you don't have a basis of comparison. So whatever good parts are in it are pretty good to you. And you've probably, if you've never seen Indiana Jones, well, you probably haven't seen a lot of movies. You probably haven't seen a lot of good movies. So, I mean, your bar could be very low. And that's the way it is for, and some people just want to like a movie. I've done that. I wanted to like certain movies, and I just can't bring myself to criticize them at a certain rate. And with other people who aren't necessarily movie people, they have even less invested. I mean, if I wasn't a screenwriter and into movies and stuff, if I was just some dude who, I don't know, never made videos about movies, and I don't know, I owned a air conditioning and heating business, maybe I'd go to the movies and say, no, it's good. People are jerks. Just because I want to defend my boy, Harrison Ford. But, I was talking to some of my older relatives about this movie, and I don't even think they've seen the original movies, and they're older than me. So I was just like, could have sworn you guys saw this. They don't even remember seeing the original Star Wars, and I know they saw the original Star Wars. But anyhow, so that's number 2 at 26 million. It's bad, and 4,600 theaters. So it was in more theaters than Insidious, and it made less money. Now you got The Sound of Freedom, was only in 2,900 theaters. So a difference of about, it's in basically 50% less. No, it would be about 50% fewer theaters than Indiana Jones. And it made 18.2 million. So I think you could add probably another 9 million to that. It probably could have beat Indiana Jones if you had 4,600 theaters. Yeah. Ardent, I just started showing Stormy the original Star Wars last week. She enjoyed New Hope. Empire is next. Ooh, you're in for a treat, Stormy. Because I think Empire's the best one, but everybody says that. Yeah, so Sound of Freedom. I do want to see this movie now. I mean, I'm getting talked into it. I generally don't like movies that are this depressing, because I know it's going to be depressing. I mean, people came out of this movie crying. But now Critical Drinker just endorsed it. I'm going to watch his review later. So I might have to see it. I kind of want to support it. I feel like obligated to kind of support it. Because it seems to be, I don't know, it's tackling an important issue in a way that, when the mainstream media hates on something, you got to start to think, why do they hate that? So, but, regardless, it's the number 3 movie in America in its first week. So look at that. That's pretty good for a movie that I don't think it has a very big budget. And again, embarrassing to Indiana Jones. Number 4, Elemental, at 9.6 million. I gotta say, I'm kind of surprised it's still hanging in there. It's still in the top 5. I mean, it was number 2 last week. Did 250 million. I still don't think that's money, but it's not an embarrassing loss. Probably, maybe it broke even. I don't know. What did this thing cost? Definitely cost over 100 million, I would say. Probably 100 million. 150, maybe that's money. Or at least breaking even. but it's not being considered a hit. That much is for sure. So maybe it's because they didn't bother to hype the non-binary character that they hammered in there for some unknown reason. Number 5, still in the top 5, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. This isn't quite the monster that the other Spider-Man movie was, but $642 million. That ain't too shabby. I think that's money. I think you're definitely getting a third installment of this, but I think it's probably done at 3. I think it should be. I think it should have been done at 1, quite frankly. But number 6, Joyride. God, this movie looked terrible in the trailer. Looked absolutely like comedy cancer. 5.8 million. And seems like a kind of a how can I put this? It's not Chinese propaganda, but I think it was sort of made to either placate the Chinese market or sort of give a nod to the Chinese market, like, hey, we still like it, China, which is weird to do. I don't know. It looked god awful. Didn't look funny at all. Number 7, No Hard Feelings, which does look good. It's in its 3rd week, 5.2 million. That's not bad, considering didn't really start out all that strong. 67 million worldwide. I mean, for a comedy, it probably didn't cost that much. You know, they could have made this for 30 million if they were, you know, frugal. Transformers Rise of the Beast. Number 8. This is another movie that seems to be lingering in theaters pretty good. I've heard that it's fairly watchable. I mean, it's at 403 million worldwide. I don't know if that's money. It's kind of an expensive movie, but I hear the director did a nice job. Ryan Citro is here. Hello. I don't know. I'm sort of sick of the whole Transformers thing. I think they kind of screwed it up a few movies ago. I liked the first one, and after that, I was just kind of, all right. I'm glad they still use Peter Cullen for Optimus Prime. Number 9, Little Mermaid. 3.5 million. Still hanging in there. Again, I mean, 542 million worldwide. That might be money. That might be money, even on its own. Now, the soundtrack on that, and we're going to be talking about soundtracks. I promise soundtracks. We're doing soundtracks. We'll probably do very well for it because it's Halle Berry or Haley Bailey. Haley Bailey. You know, that Black Mermaid. So, yeah, I think this is definitely kind of in profit range for Disney. At least it probably didn't lose the money at this point. I mean, I think they were talking about losing money. I don't see how this could cost more than $540 million, even with the marketing. I mean, at least it made its money back. But then again, I mean, you would think something called The Little Mermaid would be a mega hit. But number 10, Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken, which is kind of like an addendum to The Little Mermaid in its own weird way. 2.8 million. It's the 2nd week. 26 million. That is probably not money. I mean, they didn't have a lot of big voices in this. I think Jane Fonda is one of them. But it is animation. I mean, that seems like a low amount of money. I would gotta think it's at least in the $50 million range. Number 11, Asteroid City. In its 4th week, I mean, Wes Anderson, kind of hard to gauge. I mean, this movie looks expensive as hell. It just looks super expensive, but might not be that expensive. There are a lot of big names in it, but I think a lot of them are just willing to work with Wes Anderson, kind of like, you know, Woody Allen. Woody Allen was that way. Like, everybody wanted to be in a Woody Allen movie. I think guys who are actors want to just be in a Wes Anderson movie because it's just cool. Um, I don't see how that's money though. 38 million worldwide seems like it would have to cost more than that. So that's a shame. It looks really good. I mean, at least the look of it does. I haven't heard great things about it. I hear it's kind of boring, but I still want to see it. Feels like more like a rental though. Feels like a movie, over the next, say, 10, 20 years, people will watch it because, oh, we got to watch Asteroid City now. We're watching Wes Anderson films. Oh, I can't wait to watch Asteroid City, and people watch it. And then, for his entire catalog, it's like a good entry kind of thing. Carter Jane is here. Welcome. Are we still doing best movie soundtracks this week? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. And I have tabs, and I'm ready to go. But we have a few things to take care of first, like the box office. After that, The Flash dropping down to 12 in its fourth week. This movie couldn't be more done. 2.2 million, 250 million worldwide, or 61 million. That is not money, I don't think. Too many reshoots, too much editing. Although I hear the CGI is completely awful. So, I don't know. Maybe they somehow saved money, but I doubt it. Just looks annoying to see two Ezra Millers. Number 13, Past Lives. Well, for an art house movie, this seems to be doing okay. It got a wider release. I mean, 8.3 million. Maybe if it was super cheap to make. Number 14, Guardians of the Galaxy, still in the theaters, making $1 million this week. That ain't bad. It's worth keeping in the theaters. I mean, who doesn't want another $1 million? 839 million. I mean, they keep movies in the theaters until it's making like $10,000. And how many? Yeah, it's still in 1,100 theaters. That's a lot of theaters. Number 15, Lost in the Stars. Marley and Me is here. Hello. Ardent, The Flash won't make money if they had to put Ezra Miller's legal cost in. LOL. Yeah, LOL indeed. Yeah, if they had to add all the bribes they had to give the people to shut up. Lost, I don't know this movie. It's a foreign movie. So it only made 820K here, but it made 423 million worldwide. Oh my God. What is this called? Lost in the Stars. Look this up, see what it's about. Number 16, The Blackening, which I still don't understand. Made $610,000. It's made 16.9 million. Could that be money? It might be, only because this movie, I read a little bit about it. It sounds like they may have made the movie first and then it got bought, but I don't know. It's a very confusing trailer to me. I don't understand how it's supposed to be funny at all. It doesn't seem funny to me. And it doesn't seem like, I don't know, it plays on a bunch of tropes about black people in horror movies, but I don't really get them. I mean, I get some of them, I guess, but like, I don't know, it's such a weird premise for a film. It's kind of like Saw, I guess, because the guy's killing everybody, but I don't know. I just kind of can't take it seriously. It just seems so like, it feels like a political horror movie. Ryan Citro. John Muir was born in Scotland, and when he was 11, his family immigrated to the United States, settling in Wisconsin. Facts from Ryan Citro. Number 17, The Boogeyman. 500,000 or so. Stephen King. I don't know. It's a Stephen King short story. So 61 million worldwide. That could be money. I don't think there's any big stars in it. Again, horror movie. It's in its 6th week. Might be money. Next is The Lesson. Did I see this trailer? I think I did. Yeah, I guess it looked okay. I don't know. It only made $157,000. That's not very good at all. It's only in 268 theaters, but it's kind of a low amount of money even for that many theaters. Yeah, that doesn't sound like it's doing well. Kind of getting drowned out too. What a terrible time to release it. I mean, granted, Indiana Jones isn't doing well, but did you think people would go to The Lesson over Indiana Jones? And I mean, you got The Sound of Freedom. That's eating up the audience. You got Insidious. So I don't know. Kind of a bad time to release it. Look at all this stuff that's being released. Did you think like, well, maybe there'll be too many people to see Indiana Jones and they'll have to go see another movie? Fast X, who cares? $130,000. Just let it go. Super Mario Brothers, still in 184 theaters. Made $75K. Everybody in its second week. Oh, this does not look good. Oh, God. Yeah, this is that very political movie about a certain group of people that I'm not even going to talk about on a YouTube live stream because they're so sensitive about it. Number, I don't know, it's something like 22. Biosphere. What's his face is in this? Oh, God. The guy from The League, Mark Duplass. It's only made $34,000. I mean, it looks pretty low budget. It's only in 48 theaters. I got to be honest. I really think Duplass is a cool guy, and I love The League. The League is, to me, one of the funniest shows that was on TV, but this looks like, About My Father still in theaters. And it's like the perfect movie for my dad, and I don't think he saw it. I mentioned it to him, and he was like, I haven't been to the movies in a long time. And I was just like, but this is your comedian. And Robert De Niro's in it. And he was like, Like, literally, they made a movie for my dad, and he just did, I'm not going to go see it. You Hurt My Feelings. That's a Julia Louis-Dreyfus movie, and its 7th week. God, it's been out for a while. That has not done well. 5.1 million. 7 weeks, 5.1 million. Oof. Oofa. Yeah, and it didn't look good. It didn't look funny. It just looked awkward and uncomfortable. And then they launched Amanda in 2 theaters. No idea what that's about. And then Once Upon a Time in Uganda in 8 theaters. I don't know why they do this other than to try to capture, like, next week they'll drop it in another 500 theaters and say, see, look at, this is rising. Yeah, it's rising because you put it in a bunch more theaters. I don't think did I review this trailer? Yeah, actually I did. For Amanda. This is about a quirky girl who befriends another girl. What the hell happens? I forget now, but it's not in English. It's I think it's Italian. Once Upon a Time in Uganda. I don't know at all. Oh, looks intense. I was going to say, this sounds like, is this going to be a depressing movie about Uganda? No, it looks totally kick-ass, according to the movie poster anyway. Huh. I don't know. Might have to find the trailer for that one. And Revoir Paris. I don't know. It's in 6 theaters. And it's down 20%. It's in its 3rd week, and it's only in 6 theaters. Why are we keeping track of this thing? $144,000. I think you could safely say that probably didn't make its money. I think it costs more to send the movie to the theaters at this point. Jesus, that's not good. Probably should have just put it on VOD. Anyhow, so that's the box office. All right, let's get in to the soundtracks. So we'll start things off. Everybody, maybe name your favorite soundtrack for a movie. I have a few of them. I like the Singles soundtrack. It was a movie starring Bridget Fonda and Matt Dillon. It came out in the 90s and had like JC looks French. Yeah, that's got a big strike against it for me. The single soundtrack had a lot of like grunge music, 90s grunge music, which I like. And then the Crow soundtrack, for the same reason, had Stone Temple Pilots. You got Star Wars, like in terms of a soundtrack that's, any John Williams one is like cool because it's like, it's not like a soundtrack like, ooh, I like these songs. It's a soundtrack like, ooh, I like the music. It's almost like classical music. Ryan Citro, Titanic, 1997. I don't remember that soundtrack. I didn't see the movie, but I mean, I guess it was, well, it had orchestra music, so that must have been nice. I kind of liked, for a while, the Terminator 2 soundtrack, but then I got burned out on the main song, which was a Guns N' Roses song. Ardent, First Matrix, and the Thomas Jane Punisher for second choices. Interesting. Trying to remember what songs were in the Thomas Jane Punisher movie. First Matrix movie did have a good soundtrack. I don't think there were any real, like, songs, but there was music for the movie. Oh, I like Goodfellas. Goodfellas has a good soundtrack. In general, I like Martin Scorsese movie soundtracks because he always picks music I like from my era, usually rock and roll stuff that's from the 70s and 80s with a bit of an edge. And I like his use of music for that. So I really like the scene where they play the Devo cover of I Can't Get No Satisfaction, where Joe Pesci's wailing on that guy. It's pretty good use of the song, I think. It kind of captures the whole moment. Oh, and the Repo Man soundtrack. That's my top. Repo Man, number one soundtrack for me. Stormy, The Scent of a Woman soundtrack. Hoo-ha! Oh, God. Don't remember what was on that. I think there was a song or two that was like a radio song they played. JC, Titanic had the Celine Dion My Heart Will Go On. It was the biggest song of the latter half of the 90s. Oh, I hate that song. I hate Celine Dion. I mean, no offense to her, but I don't like that music. Too slow for me. I mean, you can like it. Yeah, so Repo Man soundtrack for me, numero uno. I love that soundtrack. I listen to it off and on all the time. And the Blues Brothers, the first movie, pretty good. I like that a lot. I used to play that all the time. Not so much anymore. Well, let's get into some of the list and see what some of the media outlets picked. So this is the 25 best movie soundtrack from Studio Binder that changed the game, according to them. So 25 is Black Panther. I don't know why they would pick this. I saw Black Panther. I couldn't tell you one song on it. I mean, there was music, but JC, huge. Oh, wait, I skipped. Yeah, I hate that song too, but it was huge. Yeah. No, I get it. It was very popular with the ladies, I think. Black Panther. I can't play any of the songs, obviously, because it's YouTube, but I couldn't tell you one song on it. Weird choice. Half Nelson. I don't remember this, but okay. Oh, here it is, singles. This is one of mine. Stormy, Dirty Dancing soundtrack and Apollo 13 soundtrack. Dirty Dancing, like the Titanic. I wouldn't like any of the songs, but I totally understand that pick. And Apollo 13. Yeah, I guess. I mean, again, it just feels like, they had music underneath things. Epic, swelling music, inspirational music. No songs I can name, but yeah. But yeah, this is the singles soundtrack. Definitely had Soundgarden on it. Good stuff. Good stuff. Oh, and here's the noteworthy songs. Breath by Pearl Jam. May This Be Love, Jimi Hendrix. And Wood, Alice in Chains. Oh yeah, Alice in Chains. Love me some Alice in Chains. JEC, didn't Kendrick Lamar do the Black Panther soundtrack? Probably made the list for the Kendrick. Oh, let me see if they mention him. Yes. All the Stars, Kendrick Lamar and SZA. And King's Dead by J-Rock, Kendrick Lamar, Future, and James Blake. I don't remember any of the songs in it, though. I mean, I'm not saying they're bad. It's just like, doesn't seem like a soundtrack like, oh yeah, I gotta buy the Black Panther soundtrack. Help, of course, the Beatles. I mean, really, this is an album with a movie attached. It's not really, I don't really consider this a soundtrack at all. It's really, they made an album and then they said, oh, let's make a movie about, so we can, I don't know, sell the album more or sell the movie. Because, I mean, the Beatles just, everybody loved the Beatles. I love the Beatles. I mean, I love the Help soundtrack. It's great. I love Help. If you ever watch the movie, it's fun. So, yeah, I didn't even think of that. And Yellow Submarine. The Magical Mystery Tour. Yeah, I know. It's not the greatest. But it's the Beatles. It's still the Beatles. So, yeah. And, of course, Sgt. Pepper. But I kind of consider them, again, like, they made the movies because of the band, not the other way around. JC, a lot of Kendrick fans. I'm kind of meh on him, honestly. Yeah, I've never seen the appeal. Ardent, for the Beatles, the best soundtrack they're featured on is Across the Universe, a musical that has great rendition of While My Guitar Gently Weeps. But Help, I really like Help. That would probably be at least in the top 3 for me. At least in Beatles soundtracks. Easy Rider, yeah, it had a bunch of 60s music. I would like that. I understand if a lot of people go, I don't even know a song on that. I haven't even seen this movie, but yeah, Easy Rider. Yeah, Born to Be Wild was in it, which it was before they wore out the song, which I used to really like. And now it's like, this song, Born to Be Wild, is so worn out. I don't think anybody can listen to it anymore. If 6 was 9, Jimi Hendrix, of course. Always awesome. Ballad of Easy Rider, I don't remember that. Baby Driver, 2017. Easy, the Commodores was in that. Never Gonna Give You Up. Barry White. Deborah by Beck. I still haven't seen this movie, I'm embarrassed to say. I hear great things about it. It sounds like a good soundtrack. That sounds like a solid entry. I'm going to give that a thumbs up. Carter Chain. Where is the Meaning of Life by Monty Python? Oh, yeah. Monty Python movies. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Maybe we get into it later. Inside Lenowell Davis. If you haven't seen this, this was the Coen brothers doing like folk singers during the era of Bob Dylan. So it was kind of interesting. The songs were good. I could see it being on this list. I can't remember any of them. It's not a soundtrack I would go out and buy, but I thought the songs were very well done. And some of them were, I guess, made for the movie, and maybe some of them were covers, but they were pretty good. High Fidelity, John Cusack. Yeah, it was a movie about a guy who was really into music. So it was a bunch of like cool songs. Stevie Wonder, Elton John. Shrek 2. Lenowell Davis was pretty dry. I agree. It is a dry movie. Even for the Coen brothers, it was kind of like meh. I did like it though. It's kind of like, it was a good movie to watch if you were just like chilling out and wanted to relax and didn't want anything too hard. Maybe you could check your phone every once in a while you're watching. I mean, that's not a strong endorsement of the movie unless that's the kind of movie you want to watch, I guess. Ardent Fanboys has a great soundtrack. I don't remember the soundtrack. I sort of remember that movie. JEC, Lenowell Davis is a bunch of old folk standards, I think. Yeah, I think I kind of remember them doing a few originals, right? Didn't they do like 2 or 3 originals and then I think the rest were all covers? But Shrek 2, I mean, another, oh wait, this isn't the one with Then I Saw Her Face? I thought this was the one with Smash Mouth. Maybe it's not. Shrek 2 had that Smash Mouth song. Yeah, that's what I thought. This is a meme pick. Yeah, I would have to agree. It's a weird choice. Ardent Black Snake Moan. I don't remember the songs in that at all, and I don't think I saw that movie. Stormy, Armageddon had a great soundtrack. That would be the only good thing about Armageddon. God, that movie's brutal. Michael Bay picks okay songs. Oh, Rushmore. That had an excellent soundtrack. I remember the songs of Rushmore. Yeah, this was very good. The Kinks, The Who, Cat Stevens. Yeah, I really enjoyed the soundtrack on Rushmore. Pretty in Pink. I mean, there's the Pretty in Pink song, which a lot of people love. I like that song. I mean, if you like 80s music, you gotta love this soundtrack. This is all 80s. This was like peak 80s right here, Pretty in Pink. So, yeah. Pretty in Pink, isn't she? Up, Goodfellas. There's Goodfellas. Ardent. Steve Buscemi reenacting the bomb drop from Dr. Strangelove in Armageddon didn't do it for you? LOL. I knew. I mean, just you knew you were in trouble. Just the lineup of stars, but when they brought in the robot that had machine guns on it, I'm like, they're going to the moon to plant a bomb. Why do they need robots with machine guns? JEC, I think Shrek 2 had a really good cover of Ever Fall in Love with Someone You Shouldn't Have Fallen in Love With by the Buzzcocks. I really like. Oh, really? I don't remember. Stormy, I hated that movie but loved the soundtrack. Yeah, that's possible too. I mean, with Goodfellas, I love both. Highlights include Rags to Riches, Tony Bennett, Baby I Love You, Aretha Franklin, and Sunshine of Your Love by Cream. That's a good song. Lost in Translation, I hate this movie. I forget what the hell was in it. My Bloody Valentine, Jesus and the Mary Chain, and Too Young. I couldn't tell you one song I remember from a scene in that movie. I could just tell you I was watching the movie going, when is something gonna happen? When is Bill Murray gonna do something funny? When is Scarlett Johansson taking off her top? Ardent. Dracula 2000 introduced me to Linkin Park's music. Interesting. Reality Bites. I remember this movie. I didn't see it. It had My Sharona in it, which I like that song. I think I would like the soundtrack to this for the most part. I don't know. The movie didn't really appeal to me at the time. Felt a little too pretentious. Magnolia, 1999. Paul Thomas Anderson. I didn't see this movie either. It's been on my list forever to see Magnolia, and like, I don't know. Whenever I get a chance to see it, something happens and I never see it. Got Amy Mann on it, I guess. I don't remember the songs like in the trailer or anything, but I remember Tom Cruise acting like a maniac. Drive 2011. What the hell? What's this? I don't remember this movie. Wait a minute. That's not the Ryan Gosling one. What am I thinking of? Was that called Drive? What am I confusing that with? Ardent. Weird. The Al Yankovic story has an awesome soundtrack. Oh, yeah. Kind of, obviously. JC. Magnolia is pretty pretentious. Maybe that's why I still keep... Maybe I subconsciously know that and keep sabotaging my attempt to see it. Noteworthy songs. A Real Hero. I don't know these bands, so I have no idea. Ardent. Drive Hard. Is that the Ryan Gosling one? Is that the one I'm thinking of? I thought it was Drive. Maybe it was Drive Hard. I don't remember. Train Spotting. Yeah. Well, this has Lust for Life in it, which I really like. Temptation. And I think it has another song I like, too. So, yeah, this has a pretty good soundtrack. Ah, there it is, Repo Man. That's number one for me, baby. Number one. Number one in the hood. JC, Magnolia had One is the Loneliest Number covered by Fiona Apple. Carter Chain, Drive is the Ryan Gosling one. Oh, okay. I don't think the one they mentioned here is the Ryan Gosling one. I don't remember an animated portion of it. Ardent, Drive Hard was The Rock, which was another movie with a good soundtrack. Is that the one where he has a muscle car? I do like One is the Loneliest Number, but I like the original version. I do like Fiona Apple sometimes, especially when she's nearly naked in a video. I do like that one song she does where she's in the bathtub. JC, Drive is the Gosling movie. The soundtrack is kinda a meme now. Noteworthy songs on the Repo Man soundtrack. Repo Man by Iggy Pop is really good. Institutionalized, I love that song. And TV Party, that's pretty good. American Graffiti, yeah, that's a good one. JC, Trainspotting was my pick. Iggy Pop, New World Order, really good cover of Blondie's Atomic. American Graffiti, it's a little too old for me, but I do like the songs on it. Ain't That a Shame, Maybe Baby by Buddy Holly, Barbara Ann, The Regents. I mean, it's pretty good for oldie stuff. 73. I would put Repo Man. Well, oh, this is Spinal Tap. God, didn't even think of this one. Yeah, it's a good soundtrack. It's fun. It's hilarious. Big Bottom. That's the best song of the whole thing. Sex Farm. Tonight I'm Gonna Rock You Tonight. Such a good movie. Ardent, any number of James Bond movies. That's true. You got the Bond theme. Probably Live and Let Die would be my top. I mean, you got Paul McCartney singing the lead song. I mean, it doesn't get much better for me than that. Pulp Fiction. Ardent, Spinal Tap reminded me of the Airhead soundtrack. Yeah, that's got a decent soundtrack, if I'm remembering. Pulp Fiction, 1990. Okay. Yeah, that's got it. I mean, Jungle Boogie, I love that. Son of a Preacher Man. Yeah, Tarantino picks some good songs, like Scorsese. He doesn't just pick anything, and he tries to use them, I think, in scenes. Ooh, Superfly, yeah. Well, I mean, Superfly, the song is really good. What else is in that? Freddy's Dead, Curtis Mayfield, Pusher Man. Oh, Pusher Man. I love the Pusher Man. That's a good song. JC, You Only Live Twice by Nancy Sinatra is the best Bond theme. That's pretty good, too. The Graduate, 1973. That is really good. Yeah. That's, I mean, Mrs. Robinson, Sound of Silence, Scarborough Fair. I mean, it's kind of all their big hits. So, yeah. Number 2, The Harder They Come. Ardent. That's an album selecting various Tarantino movie songs called The Tarantino Connection. There you go. The Harder They Come, Jimmy Cliff. You can get it if you really want. It's My Delight, The Melodians. I don't think I know these songs. I'm surprised because I like these kinds of movies. I watched a lot of blaxploitation movies. JC, Pulp Fiction is a great soundtrack. The Dick Dale song and the intro is iconic. Yeah, I love music. I got into Dick Dale for like months. I was playing Dick Dale like nonstop. That's some good music. Graduate is the most boomer movie ever, JC. Well, it's good. I like it. And number 1, Almost Famous? Really? I guess. Led Zeppelin, David Bowie, Stillwater. I mean, I don't know, man. I wouldn't have put that on the top. I'd have put it on here. But, okay. I mean, this is a pretty good list. All right, moving on to... this is going to be a bad list, I think. Rolling Stone. Because these guys used to be about music. I don't remember when they stopped, but now they're full of S. So I don't know if this is going to be any good, but it's only 25, so let's burn through it. First, there's Head from 1968. This was the Monkees movie. I actually kind of agree with this, only because I really like the Monkees, but I'm very biased, so I don't know if most people would like that soundtrack. I've listened to it. I couldn't say I listened to a lot of it, but I listen to the Monkees all the time, so. Rock and Roll High School, 1979. Well, it's got the Ramones and Alice Cooper, so yeah. Yeah, that's a good choice. I'll give you that. Juice, 1992, starred Tupac Shakur, featured Samuel L. Jackson. So it's got a lot of rap stuff, so I'm going to guess that sounds pretty good. I don't think I've heard it. Lost in Translation. I don't know. How does this keep getting on it? JC, always loved the soundtrack to Larry Clark's Kids. Introduced me to Daniel Johnston, Folk Implosion. Oh, you know what has a great soundtrack? Oh, God. The guys who did Christopher Guest, Waiting for Guffman, but they did the folk song movie where they were all folk guys and played in that concert. That was kind of cool. Ardent, Samuel L. Jackson, Coming to America. He was in Coming to America? Who did he play in that? I don't remember him in that. Number 21, 24-Hour Party People. I have no idea. Okay, this is like a... Oh, it's got like the Sex Pistols and stuff from that era. Yeah, that's my kind of music. Sounds like I would like it. I don't know the movie. Singles, okay, number 20. That was a good list so far. Magical Mystery Tour, there's the Beatles. All the Beatles. If you put Magical Mystery Tour in the top 20, then you're going to put every other Beatles soundtrack on this list. Ardent. Sam Jackson appeared as the guy trying to rob the place in Coming to America. It was his first movie. Oh. I don't remember that scene. I do remember the lawsuit that came out of it, though. Boogie Nights. That did have a good soundtrack. Yeah. That was all like... I don't think there was anything original on that, was there? Other than Night Ranger, which I didn't like, but I liked it in the movie just because of the scene. But American Graffiti, The Graduate, Goodfellas, Easy Rider, Train Spotting, Wild Style. So this was like more rap stuff. This is like early rap. This is like... DJs and MCs kind of thing. Pretty in Pink. Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou? That is a good soundtrack. I really like the song the characters sing in this, which looks like it's sung by George Clooney, but it's not really him. In Constant Sorrow, All His Days. Oh, I play that song a lot. Or I used to. For a while I did. Spinal Tap, okay. Ardent, the Bill and Ted movie. I guess they had some music in that. I know they had at least one or two radio songs, and they kept going. Rushmore, yep. Pulp Fiction, yep. Superfly, Saturday Night Fever, yeah. You got to put that on the list. I don't know if it was really big for its day, although now it's kind of, the music's kind of dated, but I mean, it's got Staying Alive. Yeah, okay. Can't really argue with this list so far. A Hard Day's Night. Oh, I forgot about A Hard Day's Night. That is a good soundtrack. The Harder They Come. I gotta get this soundtrack. I gotta listen to this song. Purple Rain, of course. Why wasn't that on the other list? And number 1, Help. It's a bit of a... I mean, it's a very Rolling Stone pick, but I can see them picking Help. How is Sgt. Pepper not on here? Or Yellow Submarine? I guess it would be Yellow Submarine because that's the movie. Ardent. I also really love the first Zorro movie with Banderas and its soundtrack. Trying to remember it. I kind of remember liking El Mariachi's soundtrack. JC, everyone had Saturday Night Fever soundtrack back in the day. Yeah. Yeah, me and my brother. I don't know who bought it, me or him, but yeah, we had that album. It is really good. And we also had the Bee Gees did they did a Dr. Pepper, a Sergeant Pepper movie where everybody covered the songs, and Aerosmith covered one, they covered a bunch. Steve Martin did Maxwell Silverhammer. It's kind of not. I kind of like that soundtrack, but it's more for nostalgic reasons than actual musical reasons. I will say the Aerosmith cover of "Come Together" is really good. Carter Chain, if Purple Rain got included, where is The Wall? Oh yeah, yeah, The Wall should be in here. How's The Wall not in this top? Nah, fail, Rolling Stone. How did you not put The Wall in here? That's weird. That's just not even in here. It's crazy. Must be further down on the list, but this should be. I mean, The Wall should be in the top 20 at least. I would put it probably in the top 10. I mean, as much as I love Spinal Tap, The Wall would have to come before Spinal Tap, right? I mean, I would think. This one's from Cosmopolitan. I don't want to go through the whole list. Ardent, Disturbing Behavior had Floyd. JC, The Wall, that's a good one. Yeah, it really is. God, I forgot. You forget about it. There's so many of them. Okay, so does this go in reverse order? Oh, wait. This is not in reverse order, but this is the ladies' picks from Cosmo, I guess. So number one, they picked the Barbie album. This movie hasn't even come out yet. This is how much I think women want to get ahead of the curve and be popular. Yeah, you're gonna hate this list, Ardent. Cosmo, all the chick flicks. I mean, they picked Barbie as the number one album. Is the album even out yet? Is the soundtrack even out yet? The movie's not even out. How can you even pick this? This is like women sitting in the office. Well, we have to pick Barbie. Why? Well, it's coming out. It'll be hot. It's like Stormy, girly, not ladies. Oh, okay. Yes. The girly list from Cosmo. Number two, Turning Red. I mean, that's just, there's no way this should be on any list. This should be a list on movies I'll never see. Number two is Turning Red. Look at the movies these people from Cosmo. This is a bunch of female editors sitting around a table going, "Oh, let's pick Barbie and then Turning Red." JC, entire list is probably paid ad for the Barbie soundtrack. Ardent, the first Tobey Maguire Spider-Man had a good soundtrack. Trying to remember that sound. Well, I guess I'll have to take your word on that. I can't really remember. I mean, I don't remember any specific songs. Number three, Legally Blonde. I don't remember that one either. Did it even have songs in that? Number four, High Fidelity. Okay, but that's number four. The other three beat that. Oh, yeah. That should be number four. None of the other ones we talked about should be on this list. Stormy, are they 12s? Seriously? Yeah, it sounds that way. Ardent, they got paid big for this list, I bet. Carter, apparently the Barbie soundtrack came out 3 days ago. Oh, okay. And it shot to number one at Cosmo. So they're in a meeting like, okay, all right, we're doing our soundtracks. Wait a minute, the Barbie soundtrack just came out. Well, you better put it on to see. It must be good. And they all listen to it. Oh my God, this is the number one soundtrack ever. And my search was for soundtracks of all time. Like, I didn't screw around with soundtracks from 2023 or something like that. Ardent, High Fidelity, reeks of patchouli. JC, Spider-Man 2 had the Nickelback song Hero. I actually kind of like that Nickelback song. I don't remember that in the movie, but I guess. I mean, at least it's a song people recognize. Ardent, at JC, you got it. My mistake. So, I mean, this list is just hilarious. The Big Chill, number 5. I mean, that does have some good songs on it, I'll say. I wouldn't put it at number 5, but I would put it on a list. To me, The Big Chill would be in, like, I don't know, in the 20s or 30s, but okay, if you're doing, like, top 100. Number 6, Guardians of the Galaxy, Awesome Mix, Volume 1. Again, maybe on the list, this would be in, like, I don't know, it's just a bunch of old songs, maybe, like, down in the 70s out of 100. Ardent, School of Rock and Mona actually had fun soundtracks. Definitely on the School of Rock. I didn't see Mona. Stormy, my daughter who is 13 would listen to Def Leppard before Barbie. Good for her. You're raising her right. Number 7, Moulin Rouge. I mean, I don't like these kinds of soundtracks, but I'll accept it on the list, I guess. I could see the girls at Cosmo picking it. I've known women who really like this soundtrack. It is, and here's the thing. What's the difference between a Broadway show soundtrack and a soundtrack in a movie? This is more of a Broadway show soundtrack, I would say. Right? Because this was a Broadway show, I think, first. Ardent, I'll agree with Guardians of the Galaxy being on that list. That high, they must be stoned. Yeah. I know. It's just like, we're only in the top 10, and their picks are outrageously high. Number 8, Romeo and Juliet. This was the one with Leonardo DiCaprio and Claire Danes. I remember the movie. I mean, there's some good songs on it, if I'm remembering correctly, but I don't know. Way too high on the list. JC, Moulin Rouge is a garbage movie. Baz Luhrmann is garbage. Well, I'll tell you, I criticized that Elvis movie, and I got flack for that. And, and I was just analyzing the trailer, and I said, this looks very overproduced and not very good, and just way too much CGI, and it's just like, people love their Baz Luhrmann. I don't know why. Ardent, speaking of stoned, Half-Baked and the Stoned Age had good soundtracks. I know the Half-Baked one did. JC, another Baz Luhrmann movie. Yeah, I didn't realize he had been around that long. Number 9, The Harder They Fall. God, I gotta listen to this soundtrack. Even the girls at Cosmo picked it. Jesus, this must be the most amazing thing ever. Number 10, The Greatest Showman. I have no idea what this is. I have no idea. Who the hell's in this? Hugh Jackman? Oh, I think they picked it for Hugh Jackman. No, thank you. This is definitely more Broadway than it is movie, I would guess. Inside Llewellyn Davis, number 11. Again, too high, but okay. Top Gun. I mean, it's a pretty good soundtrack. I'll give it to him. 12 is too high, but maybe in the top 40? A decent soundtrack, I'll say. I mean, for the 80s. Almost Famous. I mean, again, like, I don't know if you should count movies that are just collections of really good songs from a previous time, but okay. Ardent, Danger Zone. JC, Mallrats had a good soundtrack. I liked Weezer's Suzanne from it. Don't remember it, but probably, I mean, Kevin Smith's taste in music, probably not the worst. Ardent, Cocktail was a good one. JC, Highway to the Danger Zone, exactly. Oh, Back to the Future. That did have a good soundtrack. I mean, I like Huey Lewis in the news, so I'm showing my 80s. I enjoy Huey Lewis in the news. Bleach Demon is here. Hello. That's like saying I wanted to criticize cancer, Ohio Smith needs to fall hard. Who is Ohio Smith? JC, Dazed and Confused had a good soundtrack. Oh, yeah, that was a good one. Another 70s soundtrack. Ardent, Hey Bleach. Stormy, Hello Bleach. 15, West Side Story. No, because this isn't the original one. This is the one that failed as a movie. You don't put a movie that failed that hard. Sorry, no. The covers of West Side Story by people who weren't in the original. No, it shouldn't be on the list. Ever. Ardent, Dazed and Confused was good too. Bleach Demon, Hailstorm, and Skulking Ardent. He's not skulking, he's chatting away. Number 16, Encanto. You women are high. You are absolutely high. I saw the trailer for Encanto. It shouldn't have been a movie, much less a soundtrack. What are you smoking? These women must have been on PCP when they made this list. Stormy, it failed as a play. You mean the modern take or the original take? Ardent, The Lion King had a better soundtrack from the West Side Story. Yeah, that's another one. A lot of people like that soundtrack. Bleach Demon, you missed 2 Imp tonight. I missed 2 Imps? How did I miss 1 Imp? JC, Rocky Horror soundtrack. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. I like the Rocky Horror soundtrack. Ardent, Empire. Yeah, we were working. Sing Street. No idea what this is. Adam Levine. I don't know. Stormy, both. Number 18, Lonely Lion Pop Star, Never Stop Stopping. Bleach Demon, lame. Ardent, LOL. I don't know. This list is really off the charts. I mean, the guys at Lonely Island, I mean, they have a couple fun songs. I like the boat song, but you're talking a soundtrack for a movie? Okay. I mean, again, I think I'm with Stormy now. Like, are these girls 12 who picked this list? Ardent, gotta get that cheddar, Bleach boy. Number 19, Walking Hard, the Dewey Cox Story. It wasn't bad. They had some good original sort of parody songs. It's kind of like parodies of Johnny Cash and various other things. So yeah, I would put it on the list. Maybe there should be a comedy list and then a regular list. Kind of weird to compare them. JC, D in a box, Bleach Demon, and to think we waited for you and I was on a date. LOL. Good for you. How'd you do? Ardent, Rockstar, and had a good soundtrack. Steel Dragon, Stand Up and Shout. Across the Universe. Okay, there's your Across the Universe, the first mention, number 20. The Big Lebowski, that did have a good soundtrack. I did like a bunch of the songs in that. Carter, I'm a Zoomer, and this list is S. Yeah. Do the Right Thing. Yeah, that was pretty good. I would put it on the list. Again, I wouldn't put it this high. Good Will Hunting? Maybe? I don't know. I don't even remember the song in that. JC, put the soundtrack to The Wizard of Oz and the soundtrack of music at this point. LOL. Yeah, you might as well do that. Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I didn't mind a couple of the songs, but I don't know. I didn't think it was like, it didn't really bowl me over. But I could see maybe a younger person picking it. Hustle and Flow. Maybe same reason. Dazed and Confused. There you go. First time on the list. A Goofy movie. What? Is that? I don't even remember a song on this. I guess. Weird call. There's The Lion King. Okay, acceptable. Ardent, Roadhouse had wall to wall Jeff Healey. I think that did have a good soundtrack. Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Acceptable. Promising Young Woman. No one saw that movie. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. Ardent. Gosh. Flashdance. Yeah. I mean, it was 80s. I gotta go through the rest of this list. I'm sorry. Empire Records. Maybe. It was about music. Black Panther. I guess for Kendrick Lamar. Drive. There's Drive. Stormy. LOL 10-year-old made this pick. Goofy, really. Yeah. Yeah. Not even 12-year-old. 10-year-old picked Goofy. Number 35, Rocket Man. You're going to pick Rocket Man before, what's the name? The Who movie. Is it called Pinball Wizard? What the hell is it called? Tommy. You're going to pick Rocket Man before Tommy? Rocket Man are covers of Elton John, or it's just Elton John songs collected for the movie. JC, Flash Gordon, Queen. Yes. Yes, another one. There's Titanic. The Bodyguard. Acceptable. I understand why you put that on the list. Twilight Saga, Breaking Dawn, Part 2? Or no, Part 1. I don't know, maybe. Bleach Demon, Blur Maid. JC, Tommy. Yeah, and Quantum Mania, is it called? No, Quanta Fide. I can't think of the name of the other thing. Quanta something. A Star is Born. Again, it's like they already did this movie. What about the original? This is like a promo for a bunch of movies. Purple Rain, okay. Garden State. I didn't see this movie because I can't stand Natalie Portman. Ardent, fuck. Twilight? Yeah, I know. Mamma Mia. I understand why you put it on the list, but this soundtrack's waiting for me in the 7th layer of hell. Bleach Demon, Jane Fonda, Self Yeet, JC, Lithomania? No, it's like Quanta Phoenix. I can't think of the name of the. Maybe I'm thinking of the album instead of the movie. Stormy, love the original Star is Born. JC, love Lithomania. Is that the movie I'm thinking of? I don't remember it being called that. Dreamgirls, no idea. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse? Now you're just picking movies that are popular. Dirty Dancing, acceptable to be on the list, I guess. Clueless. Yeah, maybe. Again, for the teenage girls who wrote this list. Blade Runner. Maybe. Not really remembering the music. I mean, it was just, again, movie music. Okay, so now I'm thinking there should be 3 lists. It should be one for like movie music where there's like no lyrics or almost no lyrics and it's all original, and then one for just list of like really good songs they just threw in the movie, and then another list for like, I don't know, like comedy. Ardent, I'm a mess of Marvel geek and I absolutely am offended that Dirty Dancing is lower than the Spider-Verse movie. Oh, massive. Sorry. Waiting to Exhale. I don't know, maybe. Beauty and the Beast. It does have a lot of music. Okay, so now here's what I'm thinking happened at the Cosmo offices. A bunch of these editors got together and they all made their own list, and then they argued over what should go on the list, and then this accumulated list is their compromise, and they all hate it and everybody hates it, but it was the only way they could get the list done. Submarine, I don't even know what the hell this is. JC, Listomania was the movie the director of Tommy made after Tommy. It started the lead singer of The Who. It's about the first rock star from the 18th century, Franz Liszt. Huh. I don't remember that at all. Ardent, more 10-year-olds, bring your daughter to work. Hey, yeah, and they let the girls have a list, and they incorporated that too. Marie Antoinette, no idea. Bleach Demon, 0 Ezra Miller is one too many. High School Musical. Oh, God, no. The Parent Trap. It's such a weird pick. Oh, and that's it. Mercifully, it's over. It's over, everybody. Our nightmare is now over. Jesus, what a list. That was a terrible list, Cosmo. And you should all be ashamed. All right, what was okay, this one's too long. I'm going to just read let's say the top 10 or so. Ardent, The Parent Trap. Now I'm waiting to see Escape from Witch Mountain. All right, this is from Parade Magazine. So this has got to be old movies. The 50 best movie soundtracks of all time, from blockbusters and franchises to indies and rom-coms. Okay. So number 1 is Purple Rain. That to me is an acceptable number 1 because that does have a lot of great music on it. And they're all original. They're for the movie. I'm okay with that first pick. I mean, you can't argue with the craft in these songs, I think. And it is sort of classic. 2, The Bodyguard. I mean, I don't like Whitney Houston music, but I know people love it, and I can see that there's, again, a lot of craft in that. So that's not a bad pick either. Number 3, Dirty Dancing. It's way too high on the list for me, but I kind of understand why it's there. The Blues Brothers. Okay, this is one I really like. So I would put it almost that high. Probably right there. Probably right there. Yeah. Maybe number 2. I would put Repo Man, this. I mean, it's definitely one I listen to. No Monty Python yet in any of these lists. Footloose. I kind of can't stand the song Footloose, but again, I could see why it's on there. The Graduate. A lot of hit songs on it. I could see it. Again, very old people writing this list, I think. Waiting to Exhale. Another Whitney Houston deal. The Crow. Okay. I would put that on the list. Yeah, I'd put that in like the top 4 or 5. The Lion King. Okay. This isn't a bad list for me. It's not awful. Help. Number 10. Saturday Night Fever. It's not a bad list. Philadelphia. Oh, because it's got Bruce Springsteen. Glitter? Mariah Carey? Okay, now you're starting to lose me. Guardians of the Galaxy mix. Again, old music. 8 Mile. M&M's. Oh, look at Parade. Parade let somebody's college-age son pick one. Superfly. The Lion King, The Gift, Clueless. All right, that's enough of that. We got more lists. This one is from Vulture. This may be all hipsters. So this is the 40 greatest movie soundtracks of all time. Let's go through a few of them. Number 40, Straight Outta Compton. That's a good pick. I would actually put that a little higher than 40. Maximum Overdrive. Weird choice. Weird choice. Romeo and Juliet from 96. Marie Antoinette. Weird pick. Eden. Don't remember that. Carter Chain. Again, The Wall is missing. Like, do people even know who Pink Floyd is? Yeah. The Mambo Kings. Maybe. Judgment Night. No idea. River's Edge? I've seen that movie. Rock and Roll High School, yeah. Dazed and Confused. Empire Records. Singles. Once. I don't know, maybe. Guardians of the Galaxy. A Star is Born. The new one. Shutter Island. Whoa, where you... What? It is Martin Scorsese. Mo Better Blues. Okay, I could see that one. Midnight Cowboy. That did have a good soundtrack. That's an old movie, but... Magical Mystery Tour. Okay, Graduate. Easy Rider. The Big Chill. Dirty Dancing. The Bodyguard. Train Spotting. Repo Man. Belly. No idea. Okay, it's a weird choice. Wild Style. Footloose. Kill Bill. Okay, in the top 10 though, it's a little high. Rushmore, yes. Pretty in Pink. Saturday Night Fever, The Harder They Come, I gotta buy this soundtrack. Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, Purple Rain, Shaft. Okay, yeah, that does have a good soundtrack. Superfly and American Graffiti as number 1. Weird. I wouldn't expect Vulture to put American Graffiti at the top, but... And again, no Pink Floyd. Weird. Okay, this is the final list. This is the greatest film scores of all time from youdiscovermusic.com. Shut your mouth. Okay, so this one had some interesting picks. Number 74, Laura, 1945. You got to kind of know your soundtracks to pick that one. The Hours from 2002, it's got a Philip Glass score. That is, you know what should be on the list? I don't know if you've ever heard it, but there's a great soundtrack, and Philip Glass wrote it, Koyaanisqatsi. It's this really obscure movie. There's no plot to it. It's just Philip Glass music and these cool images. I don't get high, but it would be the perfect movie to get high to. And it's pretty good. Sunset Boulevard, 1950. The Streetcar Named Desire, 1951. Is there a lot of music in those? On the Waterfront, 1954. On Golden Pond, 1981. Weird choice. High Noon, 1952. Ardent, Scores versus Soundtracks. August Rush and Anything John Williams. Yeah, should probably be a separate category for scores. I think they're going more for scores here. Out of Africa, 85. Ben-Hur. I mean, it's pretty epic. How the West Was Won. A lot of old movies on this list. Soul. Oh, yeah, that's a cartoon from 2020. King Kong, 1933. I saw that movie. I mean, it was a score. If Beale Street Could Talk, 2018. No idea. Phantom Thread. No idea. The Adventures of Robin Hood, 1938. I guess. Chinatown, 1974. Maybe? Jackie, 2016. The Grand Budapest Hotel, that's Wes Anderson. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Weird choice. Emma. Requiem for a Dream? I mean, I don't remember the music. I just remember that scene, the scenes with Jennifer Connelly. 53, A Clockwork Orange. Okay, that's a new one. Yeah, that's got a really good soundtrack. Planet of the Apes. Maybe. I don't really remember the soundtrack that much. Black Panther. They keep putting it on the list. Tron Legacy. No. No. 1,000 times no. Sorcerer, 1984. Flash Gordon, 1980. Finally, Flash Gordon soundtrack gets on the list. E.T. the Extraterrestrial. Maybe? I can't pronounce this one. And pour le chauffeur. The Mission, 1986. If The Wall isn't on this list, I mean, it's not going to be on a list. Jurassic Park, 93. I guess. The Seven Samurai, 1954. Maybe. Goldfinger, 1960. First Bond mention. Vertigo, 58. That did have a cool soundtrack. Ardent, Disney animated Robin Hood. Oodilali. Oh, yeah, that is a good one. Ardent, Dubstep, Deadpool 2. Tron is better than Tron Legacy. Oh, that movie's so awful. I couldn't tell you one thing in it other than me sitting in the theater going, why did I pay for this? The Social Network, 2010. Oh, yeah, it was Trent Reznor. I kind of remember it. Titanic, 97. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Yeah, a couple good songs on that. The Godfather Part 2. I mean, it's basically, I just remember it being the Godfather music, but sure. Shaft, Taxi Driver. I guess. Can't really remember the songs. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. That had a jaunty kind of soundtrack, if I'm remembering correctly. Ardent, Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross did a good version of the Immigrant Song for The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo with Daniel Craig. JC, I hate social networks so much. 33, The Untouchables. Kind of don't remember. Dr. Zhivago. Yeah, that a lot. I can see why that's on the list. Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid in 73. Oh, Bob Dylan was on the soundtrack. Okay. Beetlejuice. I guess? I mean, oh, is that Danny Elfman? Yeah, okay. Yeah, that should be on there. The Dark Knight? Yeah, maybe. The Hired Hand, 71. Whew. Inspiration behind Mr. Tambourine Man. Oh, it's like a folk music thing. Empire Strikes Back, there's your John Williams. Mad Max Fury Road? I guess. Conan the Barbarian, 82? Maybe? Once Upon a Time in the West, 69. Okay. Edward Scissorhands, Danny Elfman again. This guy likes Danny Elfman. Terminator 2 Judgment Day, that was my pick. Space Odyssey. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Ardent, no one mentioned Forrest Gump or Prince's Batman soundtrack. That's true. I mean, Forrest Gump maybe should have been on there. I mean, again, it's a good collection of songs. Halloween 78? Halloween? I mean, yeah, it's a really good score. Blade Runner. We're in the top 20 here. Magnificent Seven. Oof, it's been years, but I mean, it's a great movie. Chariots of Fire, yeah. I mean, just for the song, really. The Pink Panther. Oh. Yeah, I mean, because you got the song, the Pink Panther theme, and Henry Mancini. Yeah. Psycho. I mean, I guess that's music. Batman 1989. There it is. Superman 78. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's John Williams. Braveheart. Maybe. Lawrence of Arabia. Probably. Back to the Future again. Yep. We're in the top 10. Jaws. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's music. That's John Williams again. Lord of the Rings. Yeah, that has a good soundtrack. Rocky. Oh, yeah, Rocky. Yeah, Rocky. First Rocky movie. Raiders of the Lost Ark. Yeah. Casablanca. Yes, absolutely. Gone with the Wind. Boy, I don't remember the music in it, but, I mean, it had some. Ardent. Sax Intensifies. Lost Boys soundtrack. Yeah, that has a really good couple of songs on it that I like. Gone with the Wind. All right. Number 3, The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. Don't remember the music. The first Godfather. Again, Godfather 1 and 2, you can kind of put on the same thing. And Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. There you go. No mentions of The Wall in any of these lists. Although I didn't go through one of them all the way, but wow, that's amazing. No one mentioned The Wall. Yeah, I would put The Wall in there. I mean, I think you would need different categories for these soundtracks. I think you would want to categorize it for like Pink Floyd. That would be in the category of really albums that came out and then they made a movie about it, right? That's like the Beatles movies. They're not really movies that they did a soundtrack for. They're albums they did a movie for. So I think Pink Floyd would be in that category. But still, you know, how could it not get on one list? But in their defense, there's a lot of soundtracks. And you're talking a lot of time periods. Another way you could maybe break it down is break it down by eras maybe and pick like 10 or 20 in each era, each 10 decade or 10 year era maybe. There's just so many, and the qualifications, like, I mean, if I was doing this list, I would have to spend days on it. I would have to spend days listening to music, making lists and culling them, and it would get out of hand. But so there it is, the soundtracks. Now before we get into the trades, I want to talk about actor Robert Davi, who contacted me because I mispronounced his name in the trailer analysis I did of Inside Man, which he is in. And he actually sent me a little video, like a 30-second video. It was funny. He's just goofing around. He was very nice. And so this is Robert Davi, and you've definitely seen him in something, because he's been in like everything, and he always plays the heavy. He also directed that, recently he directed that Hunter Biden movie, if you saw that. So I just wanted to go over, he's just been in everything. So let's see, are we on his he's directed stuff too, but this is his acting list. And you got to go all the way back to the 70s. So his first role on the IMDb was something called Contract on Cherry Street, which was a TV movie. And then after that, he was in Charlie's Angels, the original Charlie's Angels TV series, which I may have seen that one, because I used to watch Charlie's Angels. And then he was on Lou Grant. He was on The Incredible Hulk as a bad guy. He was probably a bad guy in all this. He was in Barnaby Jones, which was like a detective show. I used to watch that. Trapper John M.D., which was like the spin-off of MASH that was supposed to be a drama. So was the Lou Grant show. It was ridiculous. He kept making those shows. These are all TV things for where he started out. He was on Dynasty. He was in Gangster Wars as Vito Genovese, who was a famous mobster. And here he is in the Gangster Chronicles as Vito Genovese again. Hill Street Blues, which was a very popular show back in the day. St. Elsewhere. T.J. Hooker. That was William Shatner's TV show, if you remember, where he was the lead guy. Heart to Heart, which was another TV show I used to watch. The Fall Guy, which was the most awesome show ever. It had Heather Locklear in a bikini all the time, and the $6 Million Man doing stunts. The A-Team. I know you've seen that. He was in The Goonies in 1985. He was in the Equalizer TV show. Another good show. I used to watch that one all the time. He was in Raw Deal with Arnold Schwarzenegger. These are all in the mid-'80s. Action Jackson. Die Hard. I'm skipping a bunch of them, but he was in Die Hard. Let's see. License to Kill. That was a Bond movie. That was the one with, what's his face? Oh, Timothy Dalton. It was the one with a Bond going up against the cartels, if you remember. Did some TV stuff. He was in Predator 2. One of my favorite movies, by the way. I love Predator 2. Predator 2 is awesome. He was the police captain in that. Let's see. In a bunch of stuff. Son of the Pink Panther was 93. Was that the Steve Martin version? No, that was that Italian comic they tried to put in Peter Sellers' role. What else was he in? Bunch of stuff. I don't want to read every one of them. He was in Showgirls. I didn't know he was in Showgirls. I didn't see that one. He was in Batman Beyond. He did one of the voices. I like Batman Beyond. That was a good show. He's just in so much. He was in Scarface. Yeah. Oh, in the video game Scarface. Oh, I didn't know they had a video game. He sent me a couple of links to some of the trailers he was in. One of them was this movie, which he was in, and I think he may have directed it too. It's called The Dukes, and it came out in 2007. Did he direct it? Yeah. He directed it and co-wrote it. It's a pretty good pitch. The pitch is him and Chaz Palminteri are part of a doo-wop group that had a bunch of hits many years ago, but now it's 2007 and they've fallen on hard times. They can't get enough work, and they decide to pull a heist to make some money. So it has all the elements that Italian guys love in a movie. So it has guys singing, because they love that, and then they have there's mafia guys in it, and then there's a heist. And so it's like the ultimate Italian movie. And I can't wait to tell my dad about it, because he'll probably watch it like immediately. But it looks cool. I haven't watched it, but it looks pretty fun. And he sings in it, and he directs it, and they pull a heist, and I don't know how it all ends, but it looks fun. He also sent me the link to the Hunter Biden movie that he directed, which I watched that one. That was pretty good. I enjoyed that. What else was he in? He was in an episode of CSI. Oh, he was in The Expendables 3. Oh, I didn't see that one. I didn't know he was in that. Man, he's just been in so many things. Yeah. Demon Pit. That sounds kind of cool. And then, as a director, he directed the Hunter Biden movie. Is it on this list? Oh, here it is. No, it didn't come up. There it goes. My Son Hunter was called. Yeah. So, good on him. Robert Davi, ladies and gentlemen. JEC, GTA Vice City was basically Scarface. Really? You think so? I mean, it was Ray Liotta. I didn't think his character was like Scarface, though. But, I mean, kinda. Because he does take over the city and the cocaine trade. Yeah, kinda. All right. Now, moving on. We got to get to the trades. See what the hell's going on in Hollywood. They're talking about Insidious doing very well. Harry Styles, latest musician to be hit by object thrown from audience. Well, I can't condone such violence, and I won't. You shouldn't throw stuff at performers, even if it's Harry Styles. But if I did, I mean, I can't stand Harry Styles, but you should not throw stuff at him. You should definitely not do that. That's illegal, and it's wrong. The Bones people are talking about having a revival. I never watched that show. I remember it being on, but I mean, I just thought it was a standard mystery show, but I don't know. They're trying to make that a big deal. Did anybody see The Sound of Freedom yet? I'm thinking about seeing this movie because everybody's talking about it and they say it's really good, but excuse me. I'm worried it'll be so depressing I won't be able to give it a good review, but it does look good. I mean, the buzz around it's really good. I'll say that. So I kind of want to support it, so I'll probably go see it, but I don't know. Maybe I'll go on a matinee. Maybe I'll go this week. I have time this week. Yeah, maybe this week. And then I could review it. That'll be fun. I mean, the movie won't be fun, I don't think, but no one saw it, huh? What else is going on? A BBC male presenter accused of paying a teenager for explicit photos has been suspended. Well, that's the least that should happen to that person, but I guess baby steps, BBC. Checking over at Hollywood Reporter. Stuff about the Emmys. Anybody care about that? No. What else? Oh, Comic-Con. I talked about the schedule and Hollywoke Hot Take. I mean, despite the fact most of the major studios seem to be out of Comic-Con, most of its movies and TV shows anyway. And it's just like, it's almost like second tier shows for a lot of it. It's like, why don't you do a bunch of comic panels while you have at least have the chance? But I don't know. I guess they're trying to make it like it always is. Comic-Con is so expensive. It's just so damn expensive. And I've been there like at least 3 times. 1, 2, 3. 3 or 4 at least. And it was just so damn expensive. And someone paid for me, and it was still expensive. I can't imagine actually going there and paying my way. It would be a nightmare. If you have an Artist Alley table, which you could up until a certain point, I don't know if it's still true, but you could get a free one. You'll be out in the sticks, literally. You'll literally be a mile away from the action. And really at that point, I think you're just doing a regular big show. You might as well just go to the nearest city to you rather than go all the way to San Diego. I'll say the city's nice. It's very clean. You can walk from the airport. But, yeah, it's just so expensive. The hotels are outrageous, especially that week. And good luck getting one. You better book it now. You want to go next year. And even the restaurants. This was like, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago. They were charging for electricity. I mean, now, who knows? Who the hell knows what they're charging for but in California. But imagine being charged for the electricity used in the food. And we got charged for electricity during a rolling blackout. And we were eating outside. And we were like, what's the electricity for? We didn't use the electricity. And they were like, well, we used it to cook the food. I'm like, you sons of bitches. It's not the restaurant's fault, I guess, because they're paying some outrageous fee. But God, it just seemed, I don't know. It just seemed like, and like, the worst part about it is they just want you to accept it and not make any noise. But when you get the bill at a restaurant and they add things like that, I'm just like outraged. Why would you charge me for this? Why wouldn't you just make the food higher so I wouldn't know? Like, just raise the price of the food by 50 cents or something. Don't charge me for electricity. Because then I got to worry. Now that's something else I got to worry about. Well, I didn't turn on the little light on my table. Can I get $1 off? It's like, please. Electricity. Jennifer Garner is Garner is returning as Elektra for Deadpool 3 for some reason. I don't know who wanted that, but okay. Maybe she'll be hot. Ben Affleck is supposedly going to return as Daredevil. I don't know why. Not sure who wants to see that. I guess they're just like stuck on cameos. Joan, I forgot you were here. You lasted the whole show. Good for you, little dog. You've been so quiet. Wow, you've been good. You're going to get a nice little treat. All right. Over at Deadline. Let's see. Tom Hanks gets birthday greetings from Rita Wilson, who reveals his drink secrets. Okay. No one asked, but sure. 50 Cent says Los Angeles is finished by no bail policy. Watch how bad it gets out there. Well, yeah, I can't disagree with that take. They are effed. They are effed in the A with no bail policy. You might as well just call that Purge City from that point. I mean, crime is completely out of control in Los Angeles now. So now you're going to add a no bail policy. Okay, you've committed a terrible crime, homeless man. You've run amok in a street with a knife and stabbed some people, pooped on a car. I don't know, kicked in some windows, or you're facing a lot of time. Well, hope to see you for your court date. Have a nice day. Like, what the hell good is that? No bail policy? You're just going to cut these guys loose? That doesn't sound very good to me. That sounds like The Purge. It honestly sounds like The Purge. But at this point, I'm convinced that Gavin Newsom is driving everybody out of California so he can buy it. And then he'll try to, I don't know, sell it back to you at a huge markup. Good luck with that. Maybe 40 years from now when, I don't know, people forget there was a California. Oh, California, yeah, everybody left that state about 20 years ago. I heard it just burned to the ground. What's going on now? Oh, they revitalized it. Oh, yeah. Now it's completely crime-free. There are robots everywhere. And you come live there, and it's dirt cheap, and you get, I don't know, free something for the first 6 months. After that, you got to start paying the subscription. Like, I'm convinced that's something, it's a kind of the plan they want. They want to drive everybody out of California. I don't know why. To make it, like, inhabitable at this point. They are the worst. The Gavin Newsom crime family, no one really talks about that, includes Nancy Pelosi and the Gettys. They're just, I guess they're just trying to buy every square inch of the place. Go ahead. Buy it. Buy it and live there until you all die. Until you all die of old age, when nobody, and you'll have to pay an exorbitant sum. I'm sure you'll get nothing but illegal aliens working for you at that point, and just treat them like slaves, quasi-slaves that a lot of illegal aliens are. Oh boy, I better watch my mouth on YouTube. Anyhow, I'm talking about a screenplay, YouTube. Anyhow, it's just terrible. Terrible what they're doing. Store Bang Entertainment. Wish I could leave California, but there's no escape. There's always escape. Store Bang, because there's South Jersey. It's blueberry season. They are delicious. I'm going to have some blueberries right after this. And they will be delicious, Store Bang. Think of the delicious blueberries and come to South Jersey. You'll pay the same amount of taxes. Jeffrey Carlson dies. Groundbreaking All My Children trans character was 48. What? All My Children actor Jeffrey Carlson, known for his groundbreaking role as a trans character on a soap show, has reportedly died. First off, 48 is awfully young to just die, in my view, said the 57-year-old die. No details are immediately available. The actor has been on daytime series since 2006. But if they're saying he was a trans character, it means he wasn't trans, doesn't it? Deadline. Oopsie. Store Bang Entertainment. I miss Ventura's Offshore Cafe, damn it. I'm not sure what that is. I knew that when I went out to LA in 2008, we went to this insanely expensive place that sold cheese, and it had like at the time, a $20 grilled cheese sandwich, which was very expensive and decadent. It was good, but it wasn't that good. Carter Chain, I'm trying to escape Michigan, especially after the new hate speech law gets passed. Oh yeah, that's terrible. I think that will eventually be challenged. You just don't want to be the guy that has to challenge it all the way to Supreme Court. Store Bang Entertainment, Northfield, New Jersey. Oh, okay. That was in North. Oh, did it close? Oh. I love Northfield, New Jersey, but lots of things close in Northfield, New Jersey, unfortunately. There was a really good comic book store there and game store. And I don't know what happened. The guy was running it very well for many years, and then I think he got divorced. At least that's what I heard. And I think that probably derailed him. Divorce is tough on everybody. It really sucks. Elon Musk claims $90 million overcharge by Twitter law firm as company changed hands. Oh my. And Elon Musk is a guy who could take you to court over that, and it ain't gonna cost him much. He'll spend $90 million to get it back. And you're a little law firm. I bet you don't have $90 million to piss away on fighting him. Storbang, what happened to Michigan? Gretner Whitmer, the Wicked Witch of the Michigan. That's what happened. Storbang, love that place. Got all my Mad Mags there. Oh, yeah. There, they had everything. They had everything. I forget the name of it. All right. Brad Pitt attends British Grand Prix to film scenes for Apple Formula One film. All right, and that's about it for Deadline. Storebang, Ventura's is in Northfield, still open. I miss it because I'm in California. Oh, okay. Now I understand. Well, you of course miss all Italian food because you're in California, and good luck getting good stuff there. I mean, you can get great Mexican food there, but South Jersey Italian food, not so much. Partly because of the bread and the humidity out there. Can't get good bread. Very tough. Some of the bread is actually flown in from New York every day to some of the Italian restaurants there. I've heard rumor that at least one Italian restaurant has some sort of humidifier room just to, raise the dough so they can kind of make the bread you get on the East Coast. I don't know if that works. But, yeah, I don't know. I've heard that a few people out in LA that I know are like, oh, no, there's good Italian food. And I'm just like, okay. Storebang, Pete's Steaks. Well, that's in Philly. It's all right. I like Pete's Steaks. Out of all the touristy steak places in Philadelphia, I would put that one at the top above Pat's and Gino's. But I like Campo's. That's kind of touristy, and that's really good. And there's so many. I mean, John's on South Street. I don't know if that's still open, but they had a cheesesteak they would put on 2 slices of garlic bread. And let me tell you, it was amazing. Oh yeah. John's cheesesteak. But there's lots of good places. And then in South Jersey, we have even better places. We have the Yellow Submarine, which you get a cheesesteak like this. It's like a baby. It's like eating a delicious baby. That's what it is. That'll be a baby that, you'll dream about eating that baby. Ardent, phone's dying. I have to go. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to wrap up soon anyway, Ardent. Thank you. Storebang. Oh, this is in EHT, Pete's Steaks. Oh, okay. F Philly Hoagies. Oh, I don't know that place. I'll have to swing by there next time I'm around. Pete's Steaks, huh? Interesting. Is it a steak place or a cheesesteak place? Now I'm thinking it's like a steak place, like a real steak place. Getting on to the last website I had bookmarked. Just wanted to talk about some of these headlines. Just briefly. Oppenheimer actor Robert Downey Jr. declares men start wars and the entire planet should be a matriarchy. Where did this come from? He went vegan, last year? And now he's saying this? Something's wrong with Tony Stark. Why? Why does it always happen? It's so frustrating. Did they just contact them and say, listen, it's time for you to emasculate yourself in front of the world. Now, we'll give you your standard gazillion dollars, but you're going to have to make it very embarrassing. Storebang. Cheesesteaks and subs opened by Splinter contingent from the White House subs. Oh, well, that's why it's delicious. The White House. I drove past the White House the other day. We actually, me and my family went to Chef Vola because we had 2 birthdays in the family. And if you've never been to Chef Vola's, I pity you because it's so delicious. It is the place mobsters go to eat. It is the place. If there's not a Chef Vola's in heaven, then there is no Italian heaven. Anyhow, this is just very disappointing. I'm very disappointed in Robert Downey Jr. for I don't know, taking the soy latte or whatever the hell he's doing. I just can't believe this weird take. Why would he say this? It's bizarre. Was he serious? Maybe it was a joke. I'm going to think it's a joke. Store Bang, Chef Vola's is amazing. You know. Can't just get a table. You can call the number. You won't get through. James Mangold derides fans as divisive. James Mangold, the guy who got on Twitter and argued with a fan, I forget who it was, he calls them divisive for not liking his deconstruction of Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Imagine the stones on James Mangold. He's effed himself, I think, with the fans. I think he's absolutely effed himself. Store Bang, he cucked hard. Yeah. Robert Davi Jr. Yeah. But Mangold, I mean, he's just beclowning himself at this point. I think he's going to be, and he didn't even get a good movie out of it. I think he did all this expecting the movie to be at least decent and well received. He effed himself. He should have turned this movie down. I mean, that's how bad it is. With Kathleen Kennedy in charge, why would you do this movie? I hope you save that money. I think this might be the last time James Mangold gets a big movie. I think at this point, this is such, to me, it's such a taint on his record. I think he gets downgraded like a tier. He won't be an A-list director. He'll be a B-plus director. And he'll be in the chopping block to move down further if his next movie isn't a major hit. And his next movie sounds, what the hell was it? I think he's doing Swamp Thing. That ain't gonna fly. That's gonna. I bet it'll suck. This was another one, weird one. Screenwriter Diablo Cody. Now, do you remember her? Okay, so remember Diablo Cody in your brain, if you remember her. Says her Amy Schumer-led version of Barbie, and this was what they thought would be a good idea. Amy Schumer as Barbie. Her Amy Schumer-led version of Barbie fell apart because Diablo Cody didn't agree with how Sony, quote, wanted a girl boss feminist twist on the IP. Diablo Cody disagreed with that. And if you have seen Diablo Cody talk, she ain't based. I would say she is not based. Now, maybe she's changed. I remember her being pretty damn feminist. And so she's the one who said, oh, this is too much. Store Bang, overrated. Yes, Mangold. I think he is now. Store Bang, wow. I know. That was my reaction. Like, you got to be kidding me. Just unbelievable. And this is all coming out of course, Bounding in the Comics. And there's a few other headlines, but, I mean, they're going to do Armor Wars with Don Cheadle as Rhodey. The only upshot is Justin Hammer may return, and that's Sam Rockwell. And I really do love Sam Rockwell, and he was great. I think he was great as Justin Hammer. He kind of almost stole the movie because the movie's kind of unbalanced, doesn't really work, but he's great in it, I thought. But I think he's great in everything. So, and then Karen Allen being disappointed about how Indiana Jones and Marion were separated and Mutt Jones died in Vietnam. I mean, spoilers, but I think you should know that spoiler. Before going into Indiana Jones and being depressed out of your mind and realizing you wasted your money and your life, that's what happens to Indiana Jones. Like, what the F, man? Oh, we're going to make an uplifting, fun movie, an Indiana Jones movie. Oh, what happened to his son? Oh, he died in Vietnam, and now India is a broken man. Oh, hilarious. Sign me up for a fun, action-packed ride. Right, Joan? Right, Joan? You don't know. You're a dog. You're fun and action-packed, I'll tell you that. You want to get up? Come here. We're going to wrap things up. Yep. All right. I'm going to wrap things up. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I think that was it. Yeah. Just some of the shocking headlines. And this was just in the last couple of days. So, final thoughts. I hope you enjoyed the soundtrack list. Next week, I don't know. I don't know what we're doing next week. We'll have to think of something. Maybe we'll do some more trade stuff. We'll do some more box office, of course. Later, JEC, thanks for coming by. Maybe stuff from, I don't know, another act. Maybe another celebrity will contact me and correct me on the pronunciation of their name, and I'll have another story. Robert Davi, if you're watching, thanks for being a cool guy about it. More celebrities should contact me, really. Really, they should show up to the live stream and live stream with us. Yeah, it'd be fun. Like, see your famous name come up, and then I'll read it, and you'll get more exposure. Think about that. I mean, I got over 3,000 subscribers now. Yeah, it's not too shabby. Not too shabby. Plus, you get to see this cute little dog who stayed the entire show, Joan. You did so good. All right. I'm going to go feed Joan or get a sandwich, some blueberries. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week. What's next week looking at? Yeah, I should be good. I should be good for 7. I think I'll be home in time. Thanks for tuning in. Check out my books. Check out the links, and we'll see you in the next one.